Welcome. Anxiety and sadness are examples of emotions that all of us experience. They're part of a range of emotional experiences that are universally human, particularly when we are under challenge or stress. Some folks experience extreme and sustained anxiety and sadness to the degree that they are considered illnesses. So how can we measure such emotions and the thinking and behaviors that go with them? The scale for anxiety and depression, or shortened to SAD, is a tool that helps you measure your experiences of anxiety and depression. This video briefly introduces you to using the SAD. The scale for anxiety and depression has two parts, a daily set of questions and a weekly set. Let's start with the daily. There are 20 questions in the daily scale, each referring to the previous 24 hours. The recommendation is that the daily scale be taken roughly at the same time each day, preferably towards the end of the day. If you miss a day, simply fill out the scale the next day. The date and time of each submission is electronically stamped. The weekly set has 14 questions and should be filled out roughly 7 days apart. If you're late by several days, always answer the question based on the previous 7 days. 2 of the questions pertain to functioning at work and in school. If you're not employed or not in school, those questions guide you on how to answer them. In both the daily and weekly parts of SAD, there's a brief description of the item before each question. Choose your answer based on what occurred, your actual experiences, not based on expectations or how others may respond. Score higher if the experiences were of greater intensity, were longer lasting, caused distress, lacked control, and altered behavior. The daily SAD has questions which address emotions, thinking, and behavior. Emotions are feelings you experience, such as anxiety and sadness. Sustained emotions become moods. Emotions are different from thoughts or ideas. However, emotions and thinking are related. Specific emotions generate a tendency to think in a certain way. For example, the emotion of anxiety produces a tendency to have worrisome thoughts. This may become a self-perpetuating cycle, so the worrisome thoughts feed back to increase the emotion of anxiety. The output of emotions and thinking is behavior. Behavior is an observable action. When emotions are intense, not only are thoughts captive to the emotion, so too is our behavior. So intense anxiety can result in worrisome thoughts and also, for example, agitated behavior. Thus, an emotion and associated thoughts and behaviors tend to cluster together. There are 5 such clusters in the daily SAD: anxiety, sadness, anger, lack of pleasure, and social. Each cluster has items for emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. The weekly SAD has a total of 14 questions that ask you to condense your experiences over the previous 7 days. The first 8 are symptoms associated with anxiety and depression. The 9th question assesses your quality of life, and the next 5 questions your level of disability. To answer a question, choose a specific number from 0 to 10. The number 0 indicates no symptoms during that period. Scores 1, 2, and 3 indicate a mild level of symptoms, 4, 5, and 6 moderate symptoms, 7, 8, and 9 severe symptoms, and 10 indicates extreme. Choose the number for each answer by either clicking on the line or typing in the number. Each question must be answered before submission. In the beginning, read the descriptions each time you answer a question. After using the scale a few times, listen to the instructions video which addresses some finer points. Once you are familiar with using the SAD, you may find yourself moving directly to answering the questions, though you should periodically read the descriptions to make sure you're capturing all your experiences described in that question. As you become familiar with the scale, the time spent in using the scale becomes shorter. The scale is freely available on the web and can be accessed at sad.ecu.edu using a smartphone, tablet, or computer. To use the SAD, create an ID and password on the login page. Choose the daily or weekly set, and you're ready to go.